Doctor.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of the Legion of Raw. I'm here with yet another episode. Vince Russo, give us a 30,000 foot view of what you thought of Raw today, my man.
Same old, same old. It's never going to change, bro. Just it's a televised house show.
Man.
You know, I swear, Chris, I got an email this week from somebody telling me I'm just a little lost. I got an email this week from somebody telling me that they can no longer watch this show and will no longer watch this show because of me, and all I do is rant. Bro, I don't know what people want me to do. Do that, you know, bro, I saw 3 movies over the weekend. Okay, I saw A Man Called Otto, I saw About My Father, and I saw Air. So I saw 3 very different movies, and I critiqued them and rated all 3 of the movies differently. I don't know what people want me to do or say when I am watching a carbon copy of the same show every single week. I don't know. I don't know. Like, you know, my first question to Sportskeeda would be, this would be my first question. What was different from this week's show to last week's show? And if nothing was different and it was the same exact show, then what am I supposed to say?
Yeah, I agree, man. I think it's just, I mean, I was watching it and I said, man, it's just a bunch of matches that are just put together and just no storyline development, man. Just another Monday. Just another Monday. And it was just so flat. It was just so lifeless to me. And I was just like, okay. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Let's jump into these super chats. We got Michael Anthony, 79. Seth Insults toward Damian Priest and Baszler saying, do you hold the door for him and playing on the playground were ridiculous, childish garbage? What do you think about the rants in the beginning?
Bro, I mean, come on. We went back to Miz's tiny balls. I mean, come on, bro. That's what I'm saying. What do you guys want me to say? Like, you guys want me to say that this is a great show. This is riveting. This had me on the edge of my seat. I can't wait to watch next week's show. It's the same show, guys. I laid out the guidelines last week. We run into each other in the back. We make a match. The matches are ridiculously long, and we know who's going to win before the match even starts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the formula to every single show.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then, you know, it was the competitors for a while. We're competing against basketball. We're competing against, you know, QPW. We're competing against cricket and crochet and everything. Like, what was the did you say Meltzer had like?
Oh yeah, Vanderpump Rules. Vanderpump Rules is going to do a huge number. But bro, does anybody out there believe that the people who watch Vanderpump Rules are the same people that go to AEW shows and are fans of it? Like, how can you even convince yourself of that?
Here's my thing with that, Vince. If you're saying that people aren't watching your show because they're watching some other show, that pretty much says it all right there.
Right.
I mean, like, the other show is not saying that they're not watching my show because they're watching their show, because they're watching their show over the other show because their show is more intriguing. There's better buy-in from the audience. The other person just sitting here, oh, okay, well, we had the NBA. Okay, well, have a more riveting show than the NBA. I remember back in your day of the Attitude Era, it was like stark competition. You know, I mean, that was the thing, you know, to be sure that you keep people watching and not drifting away to change the channel and with the expectation they're going to come back. I don't understand this. I especially with the third hour numbers every week. It's showing that people drift away and don't come back. And so why would you not have good cliffhangers, riveting television, and intriguing storylines that develop through the show instead of having these numbers drift off throughout the night, man? I don't understand that from a standpoint of a writer and a television producer. Why would you have uh, 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 why would you have the different booking throughout the show that causes people to drift away and no cliffhangers?
Because they'll buy whatever the WWE is selling. And I've said it again and again and again and again. And that is the reason why they will never do anything to improve this show.
Yeah. Well, on the positive notes, we got a bunch of super chats from the SK Nation. SK Nation continues to just have a lot of fun on this show. I do enjoy this show, Vince, and I enjoy working with you, man. We have a lot of fun every week, and this show is much more intriguing to me than Raw is. I imagine you feel the same.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, yes, I you know, like I said, bro, when I get emails like that, it's like, I don't know what you want me to do, bro. Like, you want me to say this is a great show and I can't wait to watch it every week. And oh my God, this week's show was so much better than I don't know what, please tell me what you want me to say, bro. And I'll say, if that's what's going to make you happy, I'll say what you want me to say.
Not if you don't mean it, I would, because you're not going to please everybody for one, and then for one person who says more Vince Russo, you should say this and that, the other person to say the complete opposite, and now you got to keep going back and forth to making sure each person's happy, which is a headache. And so say what you mean, say what you feel, and be a critic of the show, because I imagine people from the WWE listen to this show and maybe they can take some notes and say, okay, well, we care. We want the show to succeed. I mean, that's the reason why we're critiquing it so much.
I got to be honest with you, bro. When you say we want the show to succeed, Chris, I could give a crap whether the show succeeds or not.
I'm not just for the sake of your lower headaches and wanting.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to say I don't want to be one of these guys. Oh, we want AEW to succeed. I could give a crap whether
AEW is different. You don't watch. You don't get paid to watch it.
Whether the WWE succeeds or doesn't succeed will have no bearing on my life whatsoever, bro. I'm just being honest. So
I understand that. I understand. I can respect that. This is my angle, Vince.
Go ahead.
At least on Mondays, let them be successful so you can enjoy their product more.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think people understand. It's a lot easier when the show is good.
That's my point.
Our job is easy when the show is good. We have something to talk about. Correct. There's nothing to talk about, bro, in 10 to 15-minute predictable wrestling matches with people bumping into each other in the back. There's nothing to talk about. There's no meat. We're gnawing on a bone with no meat on it, bro. There's no meat on the bone.
And in addition to that, Vince, I'm a sports fan, so I want sports to succeed. I want sports as a whole. So I'm not like, for instance, I get in pockets. I watch NHL. I don't really care about NHL too much. But if the Jackets, I'm an Ohio guy. If the Jackets start doing well, I'll dive into NHL. I want the Jackets to succeed. I want the NHL to succeed so I can just pick another team to be a fan of because I love sports as a whole. I think for me, I would love the WWE to succeed because it's a pain after giving intense therapy to people for 8 hours of my day in the daytime and being absolutely mentally exhausted from the therapy sessions that are super intense, super like very life or death in a lot of times, very pivotal. And I have to be the one to navigate people through that, single and couples. And then to come and watch a product like Raw, I enjoyed this show. I enjoy Legion of Raw a lot, actually, because it's fun, and I really enjoy the SK Nation. SK Nation really enjoys us, and so I really like that. I really enjoy the show. But I want the show to succeed. I want Raw to succeed. I want to come home from working out after a long day, and I want to say, you know what? I'm enjoying this product because it's causing me to be suspenseful. It's causing me to have intrigue. I'm really enjoying it. Not, I'm already spent the day being a therapist, and I watched 3 hours of a show that's draining me down more and making me more tired. And I'm literally drinking coffee while I'm watching the show just to keep me up. That's how bad the show is. And I'll say this every week, man. I know you don't watch SmackDown, but I'll put over SmackDown for the most part because I appreciate I'm a storyline guy, man. I'm old school. I like storylines. You've got the bloodline on Raw. And it's interesting as far as the WWE is concerned that we talked about how come we don't see the bloodline on both. And this week you have Paul Heyman cutting a promo to create some type of bridge in the story, which is interesting that they did that. But I mean, I just, that's just how I am as a person, man. I want people to succeed. I love to see people win. It lights me up. And if WWE succeeds, I think we all have a win because we got to watch it every week. And then, the audience that we see are bloodthirsty and they're flighty and they're fickle. So I think the WWE won't ever succeed as far as making everybody, get what they want. But just give us storylines, give us intrigue, give us episodic television, man. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for.
Yep.
Carl is asking $5. Who do you think should win this year's 2023 Men's Money in the Bank? I think it should be LA Knights.
I don't even know who's in it, bro. Like somebody's got to tell me who's in it. I have no idea who's in it.
So far, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, LA Knights. Just 3 out of the 6 people.
None of those 3 should win it.
Out of those 3, like I said before, I think Shinsuke should be a dark horse. I like Shinsuke. I think that they can really work with him. I don't think Vince sees a lot in him, unfortunately. And I think that they really dropped the ball because he beat, the Great Muta, in his retirement match, and he tagged with them too. And so he had a lot of momentum coming with him from Japan from the beginning of the year. You could have capitalized on that, but now he's just 50-50, and now he's getting beat up by Bronson Reed. It's just like Bronson Reed's not in the Money in the Bank match, but he beat the potential number 1 contenders of the Money in the Bank match, but he lost. But he made the 2 potential number 1 contenders look like punks. How does that make sense as far as getting people over? That didn't make sense to me whatsoever. That was horrible booking to me.
Bro, you know what it is? There's no, bro, in any sport you have, even in entertainment, bro, even with bands and even with actors and actresses, bro, you're going to have your dominant teams. Yeah. You're going to have your dominant actors. You're going to have your dominant bands. You're going to have your, Taylor Swifts, and then you're going to have your mid-carders. That's the problem with this show. Who's dominant? Take Roman Reigns out of the equation. Who is there is not one dominant person. I mean, you could even make an argument, that Brock Lesnar isn't dominant with the amount of times that he's lost.
That's fair.
Everybody's like winning, losing. Everybody is so competitive. Yeah. There's nobody at an upper level.
Agreed. Yeah.
That's not the case in anything, bro. Bro, I'm sure in life, if I'm a police officer, right? I'm sure there are great police officers. I'm sure if I'm a brain surgeon, I'm sure there are great brain surgeons that break away from the pack. Sure. You never get that here. When we look at the Attitude Era, when we look at the early WrestleMania 1, 2, 3 days, you had the guys on top. You had the guys that dominated, and then the other guys would make their way up to those guys. You're missing that complete tier now, bro. It doesn't exist.
Because there was a genuine, authentic vie to compete for that top spot. It's a whole different ball game now, Vince. It's I want you to get the top spot, so therefore I'll put you in the top spot, and then I'll pluck you out and just put you back to obscurity. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, I'll put you in the top spot. It's not that genuine, respectful, competitive type of urge to climb up that mountain, and you have people in the back wanting to get that spot, maximizing their minutes. You don't have that nowadays because you're just another name plugged into a storyline at their discretion. So it's a whole different ball game than it is now, coming into and competing in this day and age as WWE compared to then. Back then, you had people really saying, "Okay, I'm gonna put my reps in. I'm gonna put my reps in because I know that spot's gonna be available for me, sooner than later down the line." What I'll do is I'll brand myself. I'll be sure to focus on my mic work, on my physique, on my ring, in-ring work, on my charisma. I'll do all those things to get, looked at. Now you're putting an Ali on, Raw, and then you put him with Saudi, then you put him in NXT. Then I heard he's going to be on a Money in the Bank qualifier match. And so you're just plucking people into spots. Omos is another person. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll put you. We'll be sure that you put over Lashley. We'll be sure that you put over Brock. We'll be sure that you put over Seth Rollins. And so people aren't vying for that position. Damian Priest is another person. We saw that with him. Damian Priest should be a main event talent right now. He has put his reps in. He's put Bad Bunny over. He tag teamed with them, made him look like a star. He had a lot of momentum, became U.S. champion. He did what he was supposed to do to kind of rebuild himself in a little bit with Judgment Day. He made Bad Bunny look like an absolute star at Backlash. And what is his reward for it? Losing in a tag match last week, losing in a singles match this week for the sake of making Finn Balor the one that's the potential next number one contender. How in the world is that rewarding someone for putting in their reps by just saying, "Oh, okay, thanks"? I mean, like, that is what I'm talking about, Vince.
Yeah.
Back then, that wasn't something that you could do. You would get rewarded for putting in those type of reps. Now you're just another you're just another cog in the wheel, man. And that's the problem that we see as viewers. We see that too, and I think that's a huge problem. Yeah. We got 999 Joseph Gonzalez. We got, what's the point of watching Raw when it's all wrestling and no storyline progression? How can you have 3 hours with no narrative? Mae Young giving birth to a hand had more storyline progression. Very nice. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're talking about, Vince, as far as just, I mean, this is 3 hours, man. 3 hours of just match upon match upon match upon match upon match. You're a TV guy, man. Is there another 3 hour show that's just segment upon segment with no
bro, listen, unless, like I said, the only thing I saw that was 3 hours and went by like that was John Wick. And you put this 3 hours next to that 3 hours, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, this is and it's every week, man.
Bro, I swear I have to laugh too, bro, because in my YouTube feed, I don't know, bro, but like in my feed lately, I'm getting a lot of clips where, back in the day, Warrior, Savage, Rick Rude, all these guys were doing the talk show scene.
Yeah.
The morning show, the shows late at night, Arsenio Hall, they were doing this. I'm looking at this show. I'm like, Who would be on late night on this roster? Who are you going to put on a late night show that anybody's going to care about in 2020? I mean, that really is a barometer. They were stars, bro. They were out there on these shows with the biggest stars in Hollywood, the biggest entertainers in the world, and the hosts were excited that they were on the show and would give them the big buildup. And Regis Philbin would know everything about Rick Rude and Bobby Heenan. Who would you put on these shows today, bro?
Seth Rollins, I suppose, with this funny, eccentric garb. Next, we have Nasir Alexander, 499 Super Chat, bro. This entire show was long wrestling matches with zero storylines are predictable. It's a common thread that from the SK Nation that this show was long and laborious to watch and absolute pain and draining and no storylines to we didn't even see. We saw Cody and Brock as a storyline, but then you throw in somehow insert Dominic in it. So somehow we're going to get Cody and Dominic, which is going to put a pause on Brock. Then Cody's going to beat Dominic, and then Brock is going to come back for Cody for SummerSlam. Like, it is a lot, and it's super confusing, and it's hard for people who aren't. How are you drawing people in who are already confused within weeks, man? And see the same template every single week. Matches with no stories, ladies and gentlemen. Dark Side Caster. I don't know. Despite Raw, great to see you guys as always. See, that's what I'm talking about. Stuff like this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man. This show was fun and I enjoyed doing it. James Hammond's $2 super chat. Zelina should win Money in the Bank because 911 falls on Monday. I mean, you could do the emotional pull and have her cash in. Or are you familiar with that story, Vince?
Yeah, I am, but I'm trying to figure out. Money in the Bank isn't on a Monday.
I'm thinking that he's saying that Zelina should cash it in on the 9/11 Raw.
Oh, they're not gonna do that.
No, they're not
gonna do that, bro.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. It's too somber for that. Yeah. Now here's the thing. I do think Zelina should win the Money in the Bank, though. That would be my pick. I do think that you should really cash out on that momentum that she got from Backlash that you should have cashed in on Damian Priest's momentum. But I think Zelina having it would be cool to see. So I wouldn't mind. Actually, she's my choice to win. I'm not sure if she will, but maybe when we do Money in the Bank predictions, maybe I'm still feeling that way, or maybe I'll change my mind. We'll see. But for right now, that's who I want to win. Michael Anthony, $7.99 super chat. If you're Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser and you are planning to do something to Matt Riddle, why wouldn't you have just stomp on Matt's feet? Hey, man, I'm a logical guy, man. That logically makes sense. Just stomp on his feet, especially. So they cost Kevin Owens his match, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were struggling to fight Kaiser and Vinci. However, Matt Riddle just beat him up in seconds.
Yeah.
Locks him in the ankle lock, throws the other one across the crate, and there you go, man. He's like, you know what, KO and Sammy, let me show you how it's done. I'll just take
yeah.
Yeah. We got George Dominguez, $4.99 super chat, bro. Vincent, Dr. Chris, don't you also miss the days where you were like, I can't wait to see how this turns out next week? Such a poor written show. Yeah, I mean, cliffhangers. I talk about cliffhangers every week, Vince. And I think when you get with episodic television, this show is booked as an episodic television show. Why don't I get cliffhangers? The end this week.
You got a big cliffhanger for next
I was
week.
going to say the cliffhanger that we got this week was a stare down between.
Oh,
Seth Rollins and Finn Balor.
I can't wait to see that for 25 minutes next week. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, with Seth Rollins going over. You're gonna miss that, Chris. What's gonna be on TV that's better than that next week?
Nothing.
God,
Unless
bro,
it's
give me a break.
What is it called again?
Vanderpump Rules will be a billion times better than that. I promise you. Give me a break.
Do you really think that Finn Balor's the one next in line for like a pay-per-view or PLE spot?
Bro, I just love the fact that we opened up this week's show with Rollins and Finn Balor and Damian Priest in the ring, and there was absolutely no point to this promo whatsoever, bro. It was to let us know that Damian Priest is going to be wrestling. Bro, I'm guaranteeing you right now, it's going to be the same exact open next week. The only difference is it's Finn Balor against Seth Rollins at the end of the show, not Damian Priest. I guarantee you, bro, that will be the open of next week's show. It'll be the same thing. They will say absolutely nothing, and you will have Finn Balor and Seth Rollins at the end of the show.
I've got a theory, Vince, with what we see is going on. Speaking of that, we'll get to all the super chats here. Thank you all for the super chats, guys. You guys are awesome and rocking it today. But here's my theory. Let me know if you agree with any of these theories. It's okay if you don't, of course. Let me know if you agree with any of these theories. So we saw potential dissension between Priest and Balor, in a couple spots on Raw today. So, but all that was for the stare down between Finn and Seth. I don't see Finn and Seth as another PLE main event style match. Finn Balor, to me, alone has not earned anything as far as being a champion, a title contender. But do you think they work in the slight dissension between Priest and Balor to make this a triple threat at Money in the Bank? Kind of Judgment Day implosion type of deal.
And oh my God, bro. And then what? We're talking about months of Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
I don't think
we'll what we're talking about, bro.
No, I don't think we'll get that. I think that we could see some type of tease, like an implosion tease, Seth against Damian Priest and Finn Balor. And then what I can see is them like coming together and just kind of reconciling and patching things up in order to continue the Judgment Day gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, my knee-jerk reaction, Chris, is I don't think they're going to do anything to break them. Bro, it's just so funny though, bro. It's like bro, it's like you kind of put Finn Balor as the head of the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Much like you put Ali as the head of Retribution, and they're the smallest. They're the smallest, don't scare anybody type of guys, but they're the ones in charge. Bro, you know what it reminds me a little of? Here's what it reminds me a little of. When you got Goodfellas and when you got Casino and like Joe Pesci is the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, bro, Joe Pesci could be the smallest guy on the team, but bro, he's going to whack you in the back of the head with a baseball bat. He's going to put a bullet between your eyes. He's the dirtiest player and he'll literally rip your heart out and eat it. Yeah. But that's not who Finn Balor and Ali were.
Yeah.
They're non-intimidating. They don't scare anybody, and they're the head of these factions. Then when these factions don't get over, we scratch our head and we don't understand why.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. I think possibly like there's rumors of Finn getting kicked out of Judgment Day, but I mean,
Who,
okay, so that
like,
makes
who
yeah,
cares?
that's where I'm at, Vince. It's like, okay, Edge got kicked out of Judgment Day. That led to a Mania match between Edge and Finn. Finn loses. Okay, he gets kicked out of Judgment Day. But what does that do to Judgment Day if there's another leader? I think that Damian Priest should be the one who breaks away from Judgment Day, man. I mean, I think that he's got so much potential, and I think that he can be a main event star. I would like I said before, and I've had this conversation before. I think like Razor Ramon in 1992 reminds me a lot of Damian Priest's potential right now, right? Ramon in 92, he had a title match against Bret Hart. You know, he had his reps. He was a big heel at the time. You know, of course, the tag match, you know, with him and Flair against Perfect and Savage. You know, he was putting in his reps in 92 to become that big top baby face, you know, a couple years later. I think that this can be the same type of treatment that they do with Damian Priest. Unfortunately, you know, Razor Ramon never got to that top levels of babyface, but I think that they could do that with Priest, get his reps in now, because I think this match, this main event match, shouldn't have happened on Raw. You don't do that stuff for Raw. That stuff should have been Money in the Bank. That would have been a good way to continue to build his momentum, getting into that top spot. And I think he dropped the ball by making it tonight.
But Chris, look at what you're saying. Here's what you're saying. And I agree with what you're saying. But the way they have the chips lined up, okay, it would mean a feud with Baszler first. And when Priest beats Baszler, that means absolutely nothing because Finn Balor is nothing. That's the problem, bro. They don't have anybody build up to build Damian Priest. He's going to be Finn Balor? Whoopee. He's going to be Dominic Mysterio? Whoopee, bro. That's the problem.
Yeah, there's nobody pegged, you know, to have that big spot. You know, you could throw a Bronson Reed in there, but at the same time, he's getting heat for no reason. I mean, he's getting heat after losing a match that doesn't cause him to win a match, unless they do that. They've been doing like this last chance type of thing when it comes to Money in the Bank. I do think that Bronson Reed should be in the Money in the Bank. I do think that if there's some type of second chance match, he should win it. But at the same time, you don't have him get the heat if he's not in the match yet, because that makes the people who are in the match look lesser than the person who lost and wasn't able in the match. You got to make this make sense. So
yeah.
Let's adjust the rest of these super chats. We got Ty Salters, $5. Question, Vince, how come you never took your writing to Hollywood, comics, or video games? Comics need the Russo touch more than ever.
Bro, that's a great question, because this is the truth of the matter and the fact of the matter, Chris, and I think you will appreciate this. When I was in college, my plan was to go to Hollywood, get myself right in the middle of that town and do what I had to do to make it as a Hollywood writer. And I know I would have, because nobody's going to outwork me. Nobody's going to out-hustle me, okay? I went away to school in Indiana, and I met my wife. So, Chris, when I was graduating at 22 years old, there was a decision to make. And the decision to make was either get married or either not get married and follow my dream. And I chose to get married because I love my wife, and we are going to be married 40 years in September.
Man.
September, bro. And I have zero regrets whatsoever. But that is why, Ty, that is why I met my wife. And because of that, I fell in love, and there was a change of plans. And I wound up taking the path that I did with zero regrets.
I love it, man. I love it. Similarly, I was offered twice to become a professional wrestler. I declined both times in order to marry my hot wife that I'll be married 13 years this year with
Very nice.
beautiful
Very
kids,
nice.
and I'm a doctor making as much as money as a pro wrestler. So it's well, not like Cena or anybody like that,
Yeah.
but so yeah, with much less bumps. So life is good on my in my world with less bumps and less hearing Vince McMahon and production yell at me because I don't have the person. I don't have the personality to. I would last in WWE. I'm telling you, Vince. Like
Oh, for no, okay.
I would last. I couldn't
Yeah.
do it, man.
Oh, no,
I wouldn't do it.
you would
I
not.
couldn't take the type of um demeaning and degrading stuff. I would speak back and I would get
No,
fired.
you would never. You would never, ever, ever, ever. Nope.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. Let's see here. We got Zubair Talk TV, $5. Thoughts, rants on the constant open challenges nowadays, especially for babyface champs as an excuse for no stories. Yeah, these open challenges, man. What do you think about that, man?
Chris, it's what is it, Zubair?
Zubair.
Bro, here's how you do it. This is what I wish would happen. You create characters. Now all of a sudden you've got a storybook full of characters.
Mhm.
And all the characters are unique in their own special way. Now, bro, when you got this vast menu of characters, now you see what character is going to play off of what character the best. That's how storylines are created. Now you got characters versus characters and storylines that make sense. You strip all of that away, you've got this show. And I'll say it again, because you don't have any writers there.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul Heyman is not a writer. Triple H is not a writer. Vince McMahon is not a writer. Michael Hayes is not a writer. What do all of these people have in common? What they all have in common is they've been in the wrestling business forever.
Yeah.
That's what they have in common, bro. They are not television writers. They are wrestlers putting on a wrestling show, and the only people this show is going to appeal to is wrestling fans, and that is a very, very small, minute number.
Yeah. Well said, man. Well said. Let's see here. Let's go with C. $5. Just for the love of y'all. Take this tip on me. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. We got Awesome Sauce, $2.20. Vince, you think Akeem?
Bro, I was watching I came across a clip this week.
My Akeem dance. This is my
Bro, I came across a clip this week where Akeem was wrestling Dusty. Did you see it?
No, but I love
he was wrestling Dusty, and bro, the way Dusty was hitting him, and he was selling it back.
I've seen that.
Oh my God, I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, this is marvelous.
I love it.
You'll never, ever see that again.
It is
as long
theater.
as
it's theater, man.
It's
God, it's cinematic. It's theater.
My God.
It's like that's what I loved about wrestling back in the day, man. It's like it wasn't about wrestling. It was about entertainment. It was about the theatrics of it all. You have someone like you have Dusty Rhodes doing the gimmick, and then I keep getting hit, just kind of doing the.
Bro, you want to know what one of my highlights was in when I was at TNA, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. Guys, you got to understand how ridiculous wrestling is. And a lot of times, like when I was writing and when I was a part of it, I was making fun of it. So, Chris, whenever I had to compete, okay, in a match, I put on my football helmet or my hockey helmet. Like, there's no rules that says you can't wear an equipment to a match. There's no rules. So I went in with a suit of armor, bro. I had my mouthpiece, the whole 9 yards. And bro, it's stuff like this, man, where the entertainment is gone. Just to tell you guys about the things that I remember is we had a match, bro, in Nashville, and it was me, Jeff Jarrett, and I don't know, maybe AJ. And bro, believe it or not, it was like against LOD and freaking Dusty. And bro, throughout the entire match, the late great Animal, bro, Joe Laurinaitis, bro, he could not look at me without cracking up.
Was this in TNA?
Yeah, it was.
I think I remember that, man.
Yeah, every time he looked at me, he was cracking up. Bro, I remember being in a triple cage with like Steiner and Nash was in the match and whoever the hell. And bro, all I could remember, Steiner is on my team.
Yeah.
Okay. And every time he gets the opportunity, bro, all he was doing was grabbing my nuts. I mean, bro, it's like we had fun back then. I look at this show. Where is the fun, bro? Is the fun in Seth Rollins' sing-along? No, that's not the fun. There's no fun anymore, bro. The fun is gone. The characters that made you laugh are gone. What's the comedy on the show now? Oh, Miz, you for the 95th time, you got tiny balls.
Yeah.
And there's your comedy for tonight.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Remember when Hunter and Sean were in front of Slaughter and they had the face mask with the wig? Come on, bro. Have some freaking creativity, bro. Have some. I'm begging you. Begging you to make me laugh on a Monday night, man.
Yeah, great point, man. I remember that match that you were in TNA and had the helmet gimmick.
Oh my God, please, bro. There's no fun in it. We're talking about Akeem. There's no fun in it, bro.
Yeah. The African dream, man. Akeem. So that was January 15th, 2003. It was you, and it was was it SEX, right? Sports Entertainment Extreme?
Probably, yeah.
So that was their name. It was Christopher Daniels, Elix Skipper, and Low Key. They were a part of SEX, right?
Yeah.
Right? The Sports Entertainment Extreme.
Yeah.
So so y'all beat Dusty, Jeff. Y'all beat Dusty, Jeff Jarrett, and the Road Warriors.
Wow, what a win, huh, bro? Nice. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, just in case y'all want to know Vince Russo's record. Well, we've talked about this before. This is a running gimmick.
Yeah.
You wonder why this guy was WCW World Heavyweight Champion, all right? Your first match was May 30th, 2000 on an episode of Thunder, okay? You and David Flair beat Reed Flair and Ric Flair. So right out the gate, Vince Russo beat Ric Flair, ladies and gentlemen. And then the June 5th episode of Nitro, June 5th, 2000, you defeated.
Go ahead, say it. Say it.
Ric Flair in a steel cage match, ladies and gentlemen.
That's where I got
your second match ever.
That's where I got cussed real bad, bro. Real bad.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Your third match was June 12th. You were like 3 weeks straight, man. You were at it. June 12th, you and David Flair once again beat Reed Flair and Ric Flair. WCW Nitro, September 4th, 2000. You, Steiner, Nash, Jarrett
in the cage
defeated Booker T, Brian Adams, Brian Clark, Chronic, Goldberg, and Sting.
I got in a cage with those guys.
War Games, man.
Oh my God, what am I nuts?
Handicap triple cage War Games match.
Oh yeah, I'd much rather see this week's Raw than that, bro. Are you kidding me?
That was when you got speared through the cage, wasn't it?
No, that was the
that was the Flair gimmick.
With Booker, me and Booker.
Oh yeah. That's right. That was for the title. That was when you won the title.
Yeah, because I got speared through the cage.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so next, WCW Nitro, September 18th, 2000. You, Sting, and Booker T. What a trios tag team right there.
Wow.
What a trios team.
And it's fair to say I carried those guys.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Y'all beat Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner in a handicap tag match. You beat Stevie Ray on September 9th, 2000. You beat Booker T. So you beat, come on, man. You beat Harlem Heat.
Yes.
Both of them,
bro.
in less than a week.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, you had the resume to become WCW World Heavyweight Champion because on September 25th, 2000, you defeated Booker T to steel case match to become WCW.
Yes.
And that was your final match of WCW.
And, bro, after that, I relinquished the belt and did a promo. And you know what I said in the promo?
What'd you say?
I had nothing else to prove.
I remember that.
With that record, bro, what else could I possibly – what else did I have to prove?
Undefeated. You did not lose a single match. It was a draw against Stevie Ray. So you didn't beat Stevie Ray. It was a draw with Stevie Ray, then you beat Booker T the following Nitro. So that was your last match. Your WCW record was let me see, you won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. 6, 0, and 1. What an impressive WCW. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. What an impressive WCW record, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's go through. That was much more fun than going through this Raw. Let's see here. We've got Young Reckless 199 super chat. Rumors is Cody is redoing Dusty Rhodes Hard Times story, baby. What do you think? You win?
I mean, is that true? I don't know.
I've heard of that too. Hard Times. Yeah. We shall see how that goes. We got Kevin Murray 499 super chat, bro. Hey, Vincent, Dr. Chris, I didn't watch the show, but I did watch the first 2 Police Academy movies. I love
That's awesome.
Sorry for your suffering.
That sounds awesome, bro. That sounds absolutely awesome. Yes.
I love the Police Academy series.
Bro, you got all the streaming services like?
I have Hulu and Netflix.
You don't have Paramount Plus or Amazon?
I think I have one of them because I have Amazon. I pay for Amazon Prime, and
you got to try to watch this movie. I think it might have been on Amazon Prime, bro. I think, but you got to watch this movie, Air, bro.
I've heard of Air. Yeah.
Oh my God, what a great film! What a great movie, bro.
Yeah, I've heard it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Police Academy too. I remember one of my favorite Police Academy parts of the movie was they were trying to they were doing a drill, and you had a bunch of police officers, like you had the people, the academy people. They were all lined up with their backs toward the pool. And so the drill was the police person, the future, police officer had to try to like militantly like force the rest of the police academy people to back up and eventually go into the water, right? By just kind of a fear tactic, intimidating. And so there was the short black girl, the short, big black girl, a black woman. And she was like, she started off, she was like, excuse me.
I remember that.
Excuse me. And then they were just looking at each other, just smirking. She was like, back up. And they all just fell in the pool. That was really hilarious. I loved it. Let's see here. We got Zoo Bear, $10 super chat, bro. Who should have been the Raw World Champ? Should have been a bigger, credible name with legend status for the new world title be legit. Rollins not cutting it, neither would modern roster. Why do you think the world heavyweight champion 9 days in already doesn't feel very big?
It doesn't, bro. Bro. You know what I was comparing this today to? I did a show today, Chris, on my Patreon, and you know what wrestling's starting to remind me of, bro?
What's that?
It's starting to remind me of the Evil Knievel jumps. Okay, because, bro, for those of you that don't know, Evil Knievel was a daredevil, and he used to jump 30 buses, the Snake River
Canyons,
out
yeah.
of canyons. He used to do this on the wide world of sports, bro, and he used to do it maybe once every 4 months. And you had to watch it, Chris, because he was either going to make the jump or kill himself.
Yep.
So, like, it was must-see TV. He was going to either make the jump or die, so you had to watch it, okay? Bro, wrestling has become that every week. Here's the only difference. Guys, let me explain to you the only difference. The only difference is, number one, Evil Knievel was doing it for real, Chris.
Yeah.
The wrestlers are having fake matches. That's number one. Number two, Evil Knievel was making a crap load of money because he was getting sponsors.
Yeah.
They were sponsoring him to do this.
Yeah.
So he was raking in the cash, bro. That's number two. And number three, Chris, he did it maybe 3-4 times a year.
Yeah.
Not every single week, 3 times a week. Because if he would have, bro, we would have gotten tired of it. We would have gotten sick of it. Bro, how many times are we going to see? Are you guys honestly going to tell me you are going over that announce table or through that announce table means anything? Are you serious, bro? Bro, going over that announce table literally is the equivalent of an eye gouge. It's been done so many times. Means nothing.
Yeah.
But that's what it reminds me of. But there was a 100 reasons why Evil Knievel was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. To your point, Vince, I think that the live crowd gets excited. As sports fans, people come because it's in your town. You feel included to have that type of excitement when it comes to the sports crowd. But the problem is they're booking for the house, though.
Right.
And so the fans watching on television, they're not really doing a good job putting together a televised event. You're just putting shows together.
They're filming it. They're filming a wrestling show.
Yeah, absolutely. You're putting shows together for the house, and so that's the disconnect that I see every single week.
Yes,
you're like it's like when you're booking, it's like, okay, let's be sure to please the house, but they're going to buy the ticket regardless.
Yes.
And so, like, you're supposed to cater to the audience watching and the casuals for them to watch, because the people who bought the ticket, they're going to watch it on television next week. So you want to have something intriguing for them to come back. Otherwise, it'll just be a one-off, right? Like, you're not bringing something back. So if it's just some regular show, if I haven't seen wrestling for a while and it comes in Columbus, Ohio. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, people do this. Oh, okay. Wrestling's coming. Okay, cool. I'll watch it. But if you leave us happy every week in every single show in every single town, it's going to be a one-off every single time. People are going to come just because it hasn't been in Columbus for a while or your town all the time. They'll watch it. They'll go home happy. That house show effect. They're not going to watch it next week because the only reason why I watched it was because I wanted to come here live.
Chris, I'm going to make the perfect analogy. Let's take Taylor Swift. She's doing an arena tour now, okay? Bro, let's take Taylor Swift's arena tour where she goes from city to city to city to city to city and does the same show every single week.
Yeah.
Okay, or she does the same show every town she's in. She does the same exact show. Okay, bro, now we're going to televise that every single week. She's going to be in she's going to do the same show, bro. She's going to sing the same songs, but she's going to be in a different city every week. How many weeks in a row you think you're going to watch Taylor Swift do the same show? How many weeks in a row? Bro, I bet you wouldn't watch it a second week. You'd watch the first week, you'd watch the show, you'd start watching the second week that's in a different city, and you'd say, oh, she does the same show, city, that you wouldn't watch anymore.
That's true.
That's what this is, bro.
Yeah.
They're doing the same show, city to city to city to city, and we're sitting here every Monday night watching the same exact show. That's what this is.
Yeah. I've used that analogy before, but with comedy, with comedians. I mean, if you have the same comedian, if you have one comedian going to the same city or going to different cities every single week, and somehow that is on television, you're going to see the same comedian do the same bits every week, and you're going to check out. What I mean? If you thought a couple of times, maybe you'll get a few times. Okay, that bit was funny. I'm looking for that bit to come. I thought it was funny, and then maybe after 3 or 4 times, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm tired of the same routine now.
And 3 or 4 times, bro, we're going through hundreds of times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, indeed.
Chris, if I ask you right now, Chris, what was the last story on Raw? The last story you remember on Raw, what was it?
The Bloodline.
On Raw.
Well, when Sami Zayn was when the Bloodline was on Raw for a house.
No, but I'm talking, but that was a SmackDown created story. I'm talking about
Raw
a Raw original. I couldn't tell you, bro.
I guess Edge. I guess the Judgment Day stuff.
But was that a story?
Yeah, I mean Edge
putting those guys together and then them turning on him.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
They turned on Edge like a couple of months after the Judgment Day, and it culminated at WrestleMania with Edge and Finn. But I mean, that was just kind of.
I mean, the fact that we got to sit here and try to think of the last story on a 3-hour show,
and it wasn't riveting. I mean, it was the payoff. The payoff was Edge beating Finn, and Edge is gone, and Finn doesn't. I mean, they didn't elevate Finn. I mean, if it's a loss that elevates someone, it's okay. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the loss didn't elevate Finn.
Yeah,
it just culminated with Edge getting the win. We have Zubair, $5 super chat, bro. Mr. and Mrs. Russo, our couple and marriage goals. So is Dr. Chris and his wife, I assume. Let's give it up to them. Very nice. Thank you. We also have Rollin in the building. $9.99. You guys predicted Asuka losing at Mania because the storyline was shallow, and you were right. You predicted the same thing for the same reason in Night of Champions, and this time you were wrong. Was this a good shocker? Not for me. I mean, like it was still, the storyline was still weak, so it didn't really make Asuka's win strong to me. It was like, I mean, it was just very mad to me. Like, I didn't mind Asuka winning against Bianca Belair because they needed to change it up to me. But at the same time, they don't know what to do with Asuka. She's a heel, but she's still getting cheered. And then she's doing heelish things, but Bianca needs a big change, so that's not really helping Asuka's heat. And now Io Shirai is coming and arguing with Asuka, but she's in the heel stable because Bayley's a heel. It's so illogical to me and all over the place that wins and losses doesn't mean much to me if the characters aren't strong. And Asuka winning is just like, to me, when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, they just wanted to keep the belt off of Bianca Belair. That's really about it. So we have Lewis, $5 super chat, bro. Do you guys think a 24/7 championship maze would have been cool? I miss old school wrestling. Love you guys. someone running through a maze for the 24 championship. I don't think anything about the 24 championship post our troops outside segments were it was any good. I mean, it wasn't worth my time. Awesome Sauce, $2.20. Should WWE go back to Saturday AM for 1 hour 80 stuff?
Guys, I'm telling you this right now. I am telling you this right now. If there were a wrestling show that was 1 hour long, it would be the most over wrestling show on TV.
Yeah, I think
guarantee it, bro.
1 hour. Yeah, at least like
1 hour.
I'm cool with 1 hour, even if you wanted to push it up to 90 minutes. But I'm cool with 1 hour.
1 hour, bro.
I think with all the talent, it would be tough to do 1 hour. But at the same time, even if you did 90 minutes, and like I said before, SmackDown isn't terrible. I mean, I like SmackDown. It's a 2 hour show. I just think that third hour makes it a stretch, man. I really do. I really do. Naseer 999 super chat, bro. I totally understand what Vince Russo is saying. Michael Jackson is the greatest of all time, but could you imagine if he went to the studio and made the same exact song every time? Yeah, I mean, if you're watching Michael Jackson going from city to city, doing the same exact, lineup that he did, you're like, okay, well, wait a minute, what's different? My song isn't a part of this lineup. This is my favorite Michael Jackson song. And you're not doing, if I know that you're going to do the same lineup that doesn't include my song, I'm not going to watch it, after a couple of times. So that's why you have to develop new people and new talent to give me the what you're doing. I'm gonna go through the card, and feel free to stop me with your thoughts whenever you see fit. All right, we got Seth Rollins cutting an in-ring promo. Interrupted by Damian Priest and Finn Balor. You talked about that. Becky Lynch defeating Sonya Deville for the Money in the Bank qualifier. That was pretty predictable.
Yeah.
We get a recap of Bloodline implosion from SmackDown. We get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn backstage interview interrupted by Imperium. Is this leading to a tag match, Vince?
Didn't they already have a tag match?
They did, but why did I keep doing this?
I don't know, bro.
We get Kaden Carter and Katana Chance cutting a vignette.
Oh, this was so canned and But somebody thinks they're ready for TV. So
yeah, but why are you doing vignettes to people who lose matches though? Like they lose their first match.
Bro, not only do they lose their first match, but Ronda Rousey refers to that. She basically says, "What am I in Munchkin land?" Because they are tiny compared. And how long did that match go? That's what I'm talking about, bro. You've got two young girls, their first match on television, and you're gonna bring Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler down to their level to make it a competitive match? Really? Yeah. Really, you're going to do that, right?
Good point. Yep. Agreed. Gunther defeating Kevin Owens. Why do you think they did this?
Wait a minute, bro. Hold on. Let me hit with a timeout. Give me Joe.
Okay. Oh, it's time for Joey. Come on, man. Wake up, Joey. Let's go.
Time out, Joey. Time out, Joey.
This shows you how little they care. They care so little. So, bro, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler have that pre-tape in the back with Carter and Chance. We call them Munchkins and everything. So this is how Ronda Rousey ends it. We'll let Pierce know your death wish, and we will see you in the ring.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, 10 minutes later, they make their entrance to the ring.
Yeah.
Where did they see Adam Pierce to make the match? This is what I'm talking about, bro. They don't care. She basically says, we're going to get with Pierce. We're going to tell him about the death match. We're going to make the match. 10 seconds later, bro, they're walking through the curtain.
Because basically she knows Adam very well, and she assumed that he was going to say yes, so So she just texted him just to get clearance real quick while she's walking out, and she got her match. She got her match, man. That's all. That's all it takes.
That just goes to show you how little they freaking care, bro. They could care less, bro.
We got the so yeah, that was after that was after the Gunther Owens.
Yeah.
So then we get a backstage interview of Matt Riddle, interrupted by Kaiser and Vinci, and they get taken out. Then we get the interview of Baszler and Rousey, interrupted by Carter and Chance.
Yeah.
They end up losing to Rousey and Baszler. Then we get your boy. We get a Johnny Gargano vignette.
Oh my! And what did he say, bro? I was a kid with a dream. Oh please, bro! Like literally, guys, take your dreams and shove them up your backside. Like I'm so tired of the kid with a freaking dream, bro. I am so tired, so tired.
Trying to make him a baby face, man. Like Michael's boyhood dream has come true. They're trying, man. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ricochet is a no contest because Bronson Reed attacks them both.
Bro, what about the fans chanting one more time?
Yes, I'll pick that up. I sure did pick that up. Yeah, it's just again, man. It's the bloodthirsty crowd that doesn't really care. Like you're not making the character strong enough, so they just want violence. So I mean, that's the thing. Like if you're not giving me a reason to care about this character, I'm watching. It's the same thing as old school Greco-Roman Colosseum style. I don't care who you are, just give me violence. I just want two men violently taking each other out,
right?
Blood and guts, basically. And so that's the Colosseum style Greco-Roman that we saw in the 1800s, and that's what we see now. Because if I don't have any buy-in to care about this character, give me old school bloodthirsty, violent wrestling, man. Next we have the Alpha Academy cuts a promo.
Bro, did I miss something? What happened?
She never came back out, did she?
Well, what happened to the guys she was with?
They're still around, but they just had her just transition over to Alpha Academy.
So they're not there. See, I was thinking because all of a sudden these guys have disappeared. Yeah. So I'm like, did they get drafted on SmackDown?
No, they got drafted. I think they're still on Raw.
But they just disappeared. They're MIA. Okay.
Yeah, they're just not being utilized. Looks like they decided for her to manage Alpha Academy. Although, unless this is leading into a feud with them two, because she ended up being
I can't wait to see that.
That's going to be. I mean, that's WrestleMania.
Be a humdinger.
Yeah. Absolutely, slobber knocker, if you will. Miz TV, Cody Rhodes, interrupted by Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley.
So let me get this straight. So the kid punks Cody out and slaps him in the face.
Yes.
And Cody in turn lays out the Miz.
Yes. That was his he was upset. So then he just, and here's my thing, Vince. So what are your thoughts on, because I see this a lot, and I see when I see this, I'm like, so is someone gonna actually go ahead and hit Rhea Ripley? Like, why is she doing the whole like I'll step in front of your face, like and she's physical with guys too. She slams guys, she puts guys.
They don't have the tiny balls to do that.
Why don't they just like why don't they work that up into like a gimmick? Why don't they work that out to up into an angle? You can get the fans behind that of Rhea keep egging on, hit me, and that can really make a really cool babyface and get some cheers if they finally, again, we have a bloodthirsty crowd. Use it to your advantage when it comes to building characers.
Yeah, no, that's
so if Rhea Ripley's going to do that,
that's not politically correct. That'll never happen.
At least, like, okay, if you're not going to hit her, because she would hit them. I mean, she has. But if you don't hit her, why don't you spear or something? Like, why don't you do something that's that's worth getting that type of babyface heat, because this Rhea stepping your way and then be physical with you, but you can't be physical with me. This is wrestling, man. I mean, I'm not a big fan of like men versus woman wrestling, although that happens a lot. They do that in Mexico all the time. But at the same time, if it's for the sake of storyline, I think that there's weight in that. I mean, Randy Orton RKO'd Stephanie McMahon during his, during his feud with Triple H. I mean, we saw that a bunch of different times, man. So working into a storyline. We got a couple super chats. We got Johnny Slice, $10 super chat, bro. About 2 years ago, D Priest was getting over huge and on his way to being a top guy, and suddenly they changed his character music so fans stopped caring. That's the point. WWE is the star. That's how it is. Very true. I mean, I've said that many times, man. They don't want people to be bigger than the business. It's the Ryback effect, and that's what happens, man. And you see it. You see it in the product, unfortunately. Yep. Johnny Slice also says $5 more. Ha ha, and Seth Rollins laugh. Imagine after all those cool vignettes for Razor Ramon, then he debuted and got annihilated by Mantor. Exactly. All you get the vignettes just for Razor Ramon to lose a match or go 50. Even worse, go 50-50 with Mantor and then win a match and keep going 50-50 with other people. How in the world is that building your character? If you're going 50-50 with, I mean, you tell me this, Vince, who back in the day, in the 80s, early 90s, who as a character that they were trying to make somebody make shine went 50-50 just about every match?
Nobody.
Yeah, we went through one of our shows a couple of years ago. I pulled up the winning percentages of some of the most popular of all time. One was 60, one was 80. I think Hogan's WWE career initially was like 80-some%. Taker's was up there too. Austin's was up there. And that's the point. I mean, they didn't have 50-50, careers. Then we get Zoe Stark defeating Natalya in a Money in the Bank qualifier. Then we got a Paul Heyman promo. And then we get into Sheer destroying Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander before the bell even starts, which caused the ref to cut it and not have a match. So this is how you're putting over into Sheer. What's the payoff for here? Into Sheer against KO and Sammy?
I have no idea, but I don't think they'll make it that far.
You don't think so?
I'm telling you, bro. This is the Pillars of Pain. Who were those guys again? Authors of Pain. It's the same thing. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah. They're gonna get the carpet pulled out from under them before they even get any place. I'm telling you, bro.
Unfortunately, Mike Dowling, $5. I've been waiting for somebody to hit her since she got into Judgment Day. Yeah, see, I mean that's the thing. Like you got if you make something out of that and you keep building that up, that can cause intrigue, man. Cause someone to finally deck her. Then we get Seth Rollins and Priest, man. Stare down between Rollins and Priest post-match, Vince.
Which is next week's main event.
So you predict that Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor is the main event for next week.
Are you kidding me, bro?
Definitely seem like that's the case. Vince, let them know about the fantasy baseball, my man.
Yeah, guys, I've got a fantasy baseball Patreon. If you guys are fantasy baseball players, we have a lot of fun. I give you picks. I will help you win your league, bro. Just go to patreon.com/VRFBB.
Yes, indeed. You see at the Vince Russo underneath his name. Follow him on the Twitter machine. Follow me on the Twitter machine at Chris Prolific. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Legion of Raw. Vince Russo, Dr. Chris. Have a good night, everybody. Solo.